mental health is serious. Mental health is serious. I feel like it's not talked about enough. I feel like drinking is the first bandage for anybody going through something. That I'm on the other side of the stick, I really just thank God. Hey sister girlies, welcome back to my channel. New sisters, old sisters, I'm so glad you guys have tuned in to yet another video. Today's video will be a new episode of Topic Tuesday. Y'all, I know I have not filmed a Topic Tuesday in so long, but I'm about to film one right now today. And I was looking at the comments on the last Topic Tuesday, and today we're going to talk about more life and mental health in and out of the military. First things first, I just want to say that mental health is serious. Mental health is serious. Please always check on y'all friends and family. It is super duper important. I especially want you guys to check on your friends and family that are serving in any parts of the United States military. Okay, everybody, we all need a hug sometimes. We all need encouraging words sometimes. We all just need somebody to be there for us. I can say for me, in my experiences, again, like I told y'all in a few of my other videos, I joined the military. I was in the Army in 2018, fresh out of high school. I served for 4 years active duty, and I can definitely say mental health played a really big role in my term of being in the military. I can definitely say that I went through my own experiences, and I feel like it's not talked about enough. I feel like people look at mental health, especially for people in the military. I feel like people overlook it. I feel like people think military and automatically think rich. People think military and automatically think, oh, benefits. Like, oh, you got all these benefits. Da 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 da. It's not what the world be trying to make it seem, and I really hate that, because I feel like people overlook some of the simplest things that could be a cry out for help. One of the biggest things that I personally went through myself, and that I still see now today, if you know somebody that's been serving in the military or a veteran or whatever the case may be, drinking. I feel like drinking is the #1 bandage for mental health for Army veterans, or veterans in general. I don't even want to just say Army veterans. That was kind of crazy to say. But I feel like drinking is the first bandage for anybody going through something in the military, because I feel like it's so accessible to us, and it's just so convenient. It's so easy. That's the first thing we're going to do. And sadly, that's what everybody turns to. Obviously, you're not going to smoke. You're not going to, go chill at your mama's house because you can't do it. You're away from home. That's the only coping method. And I feel like for me, when I went through it, I was hanging around people that did nothing but drink all the time. So I looked at it as an escaping method. I felt like, okay, like if I drink, even if I didn't get drunk, if I was drinking and I was just feeling good, it made me feel like I was not going through the things that I was really going through. And again, I felt like I was putting a bandage over my real problems. And I feel like I did it for so long, I kind of got numb to it. And I feel like a lot of people look at that today as like, oh, let's get drunk, let's drink, da 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 da. Like, oh, military people, they just drink, they alcoholics. I feel like if people really sat down and got to understand the veteran or the soldier that's doing it right there in that moment, I feel like I can almost guarantee that it's more to the story than them just wanting to drink. I feel like drinking is a bandage. A lot of people hate to talk about it. They don't talk about it. They just use it for jokes. And like I said, when I was drinking, and that's why right now today, I still drink, but I don't drink as much. And I really don't like to drink like that, because I know the space in my life I was in when I was drinking heavily, and it just was not a good space. I was very just depressed. I was at one of the lowest stages of my life that I feel like I've ever been in. And I feel like the military as a whole, mental health is not talked about. So for me, being this 18-year-old, 19-year-old, 20-year-old young woman who's navigating life, she's moved away from home for the first time, she's not around family, she's living this big girl life. I had to grow up. Like, I literally had to grow up so fast. And I just felt like in some moments I really just felt lost. I felt like I didn't want to be here no more. I felt like, it was just too much. And I feel like I know I'm not the only one that's ever felt like that. And now that I'm on the other side of the stick, I really just thank God that I got the help that I needed to get when I did get the help, and that even still now to this day, with me not being in the service anymore, that I'm continuing to get the help that I need. And I just want to just really just send out hugs to anybody that could be watching this video right now and that feels as if they're in a tough place, or they feel as if they're at that point of just drinking or trying to find a coping method. I would strongly suggest to find another coping method. I know that it's easier said than done, because again, I've lived it, so I've been in those shoes, and I just feel like mental health is honestly not talked about enough, especially for military personnel. What a lot of people don't realize is, once you're in the military personnel, you're looked at as a number. I personally feel like you're not looked at as a human being. You're looked at as a number. So, so what if you come to work and you're having a bad day? So what if you come to work and you're depressed? The mission must continue. The show must go on. So I just feel like, a lot of days I was just very down, and I just look forward to drinking, because it's like, shit, I mean, hey, that's all I have to do. But I definitely, it's really just a lot. And I've seen a lot while I was in the service, especially on the mental health end, even some of my battle buddies and just things like that. Like, it's hard. Like, it is so hard. Like, forget the paychecks, forget the uniform, forget the cars, clothes, glitz and glamour that everybody from the outside only looks at. What people fail to realize is, once you take those uniforms off and you go to your room or you go to your house and you strip out of all of that, you are a human being, and that shit gets tough. And a lot of the times, like I said, for me as an 18-year-old girl, young lady, leaving home, going to live another life and do things like that, like, I ain't really too much know what depression was. So when I actually started to go through depression, I did not know how to cope with depression, because I was not used to being depressed. So in the beginning, I didn't even know that I was depressed. I'm just like, dang, like, I'm feeling sad a lot. Like, I don't feel like myself. And it took me a minute to realize, like, oh damn, like, I'm depressed. I'm literally going through mental issues. And a lot of people hear mental issues or mental health and they automatically think people are crazy. Why are we using the term crazy? Oh, they crazy, or they got problems, or they got this. No. Mental health is so much deeper than that. And that's why I say to anybody that's watching this video, if you're in the service, if you're a vet, if you know somebody that's in the service, check on y'all people, because it's deeper than what a lot of people think it is. And don't just think somebody just want to be out here drinking for fun. Now, if it's anybody out here who just say like, oh, I'm just drinking for fun, I'm just drinking what I want to do, that's a lie. Baby, those people are depressed. I'm telling you. I am telling you. It now, onesies and twosies, little drinks here and there, I get it. But I feel like that is the biggest bandage in the military community. Drinking. A lot of people lose themselves. A lot of people cope with drinking. A lot of people lose themselves to drinking. A lot of people cope with drinking just to make them feel good. A lot of the times, us as soldiers, we just need something in that moment to make us feel good, and sadly a lot of the times it is drinking. But I feel like life after the military, mental health wise, I feel like it's still a challenge. I know most people think like, oh, you get out the military, your life is just so great, X, Y, and Z. But what people fail to realize is mental health is not just a thing that goes away. I feel like for a very long time I still had that mentality of being in the military, so a lot of that was still instilled in me. So I had to learn how to be a human again, not a robot. And mentally that took a huge toll on me. And I feel like that's why now, when I'm not doing something, I feel like I should be doing something, or when I have too much free time, or when too many good things are happening, I feel like I'm just so in a robot functioning body, because I was just, for 4 years straight, I was on the Army's time. I did everything that they told me to do. I was the person that they made me be. I wore my hair like they told me to. I did everything how the military said was right, not what I thought was right. So I definitely feel like, for me and my experience with shifting out, it was very, 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 very hard. And still to this day, I feel like it is very, 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 very hard, because when you're so used to routine and you go out and you're around civilians again and you're in the civilian life, totally different from the military life. And I know people, people wonder sometimes, they're like, how, like, you should like being out, or how is it different? But you have to understand, like, when you're in the military, you're programmed, you have a routine, you know, like, what your day is gonna look like. You're so used to chaos that pretty much you never know what's gonna be thrown your way, but you always know something is gonna be thrown your way. So you're just used to it. In the civilian life, when you actually have control of your life and you're able to maneuver how you want to, that's a big difference. And that is something that can cause a lot of conflict, because for me, like I said, I was programmed. I was used to doing things the same way, Monday through Friday. So once I did get out and I was able to have time for myself, it was very hard for me, because I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what I was. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't even know how to navigate life with being me, because for so long I wasn't myself. I had somebody telling me how to be myself and how to live this thing called life. So I feel like that's definitely still something that I'm working on still to this day. But again, I want to reiterate, mental health is serious, and I just hope that people start taking it a little more serious, especially in the military. I feel like it's not talked about enough. I feel like it's not just as pushed as it should be. But mental health is so real, y'all. Like, I swear to y'all, I've seen people really, like, down to their lowest of lowest of lowest. It is so scary, because you never know, like, what a person is truly going through. You never know how much a person can take. You truly just never know. And that's why I feel like it is so important to take time for yourself, to just simply just take time for yourself. And a lot of people, everybody's not going to understand it, and that is totally okay. Just like that's another thing I had to learn with navigating back into the civilian life. Everybody is not going to understand my thought process, or when it just comes to me needing that me time, or me just shifting away from people and certain things, and just like my mind does not operate as most people that I know do. And I can say a lot of that did come from the military setting that I was in. And a lot of people do not understand that. A lot of things are triggers to me that most people would laugh and joke about and think that I'm crazy, as I feel like that's the word everybody likes to use. It's crazy. These people got problems. These people need to go do this, go do that. And I feel like counseling as well, therapy, counseling, behavioral health, whichever one you want to call it, I feel like that is downplayed so bad, and it needs to stop being downplayed. Because do not let anybody make you feel bad for going to therapy. Do not let anybody tell you that a therapist cannot help you. What works for you may not work for other people, and that is totally okay. Because I used to be that soldier that was afraid to go to behavioral health, because I didn't want anyone to judge me. I didn't want anybody to look at me like I was crazy. I didn't want anybody to look at me as I was not in control of my own life. But it got to a point where that was my only choice. That was my only option. And that is why now, like I said, navigating into the civilian world, I'm still in therapy. I still go to counseling. And that's just one of the things that I had to realize, that like that's just something that I need. And a lot of people are not going to understand it, and that is okay. You have to simply do what's going to work for you and what's best for you. And yeah, so I feel like that's really just one of the, but I can definitely say with me being out now and kind of navigating the civilian life, it has given me more time to focus on my mental health and actually kind of just dive deeper into myself and learn me as Alexis the human being, and not Sergeant Davis the soldier. So it's been very, very different though. I truly can say that. And I feel like that's one of the hardest things, is the transitioning out. And I definitely feel like your first year after you transition out is the hardest year, because you're just going through so much. Like I said, you have been accustomed to a certain lifestyle for so long. The discipline, the just routine, the structure, just everything. You're so used to it. It's like you can still hear the stuff in your head. Like, it's so crazy. And then once you get out and you're navigating life on your own again as you were before you got in, it's just really different. And I feel like a lot of people don't understand it unless you're, you know, a veteran yourself, or you're a soldier that's in, you know, and you've been through it. So yeah, that's the hardest thing about being out, though. Just, you know, finding those people that get you. You know, I feel like us army people, or just military people in general, we just get each other. Like, we like this, we just get it. But yeah, that's gonna be pretty much it for this Topic Tuesday. This video is pretty short and sweet and right to the point. I really love this topic, and I appreciate my sister for asking this question, and, you know, just always asking me how I'm doing mentally, and like just checking and stuff. That really means a lot. I really appreciate it. This topic was very much needed to be discussed. I love this series of Topic Tuesday. I just feel like it's so fun. Y'all get to kind of know me on a deeper level. I kind of get to know y'all. I'm also able to answer questions, and y'all have really good questions. I'm probably gonna go ahead and film another one after this, so I can kind of keep it going, because I promised myself that I am not gonna miss any more Tuesdays. After y'all see this video, I'm not gonna miss any more Tuesdays, because this is really fun to do, and I like talking to y'all, of course. But that is it, and that is all for this video. As I stated in the beginning, check on your strong friends, check on your strong soldiers, check on your vet friends, check on your vet spouses. Just check on them, love on them a little extra, because I'm pretty sure their minds are always still going. And from the outside world, people just look at the military as a money sign in general. And if you guys just take a step back and actually genuinely take the time to have a conversation with, you know, the people that you know that's in the military, out of the military, and just love on them a little extra, okay? If you don't do nothing else, just ask them how they doing. Ask them mentally, like, how are they doing, and be sincere about it, and be genuine about it. But as always, thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys want a more in detail video on this, I can try to dive a little bit deeper. If you guys want to know anything else about my personal experiences while being in the military, just drop some more questions below, or just ask me anything, and maybe you'll get featured in the next Topic Tuesday, because I just pick from my comments, and then if I don't have any comments, I kind of just make up a question to talk to you guys about. But yeah, that is it, and that is all. And again, thank you guys for supporting me. I will see y'all in the next video. I will see y'all same time next Tuesday. Toodles.